the outfits with the shitty Instagram quotes. I don't know. He just bothers the fuck out of me.
So you don't hate the foreigners, you just hate all the foreigners. Okay. Whatever you got to tell yourself, man. Sure.
One. It's just those three guys.
Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordan be writing on all socials.
This is our segment we title What's on Our Mind, things we saw on the internet, things we've been wanting to discuss. And so, real quick before we start, I have an ethical question for you.
All right.
So, I'm mostly a nonfiction reader for the most part, right? And so I
Gotcha.
don't,
Correct.
a lot of nonfiction books are researchers and academics, but they're not great writers. So it tend to be boring
Right.
prose, not really interesting. They're just kind of giving you information. It's like reading an
Yeah.
encyclopedia. And so
Correct.
I don't like some of those books I just don't finish because they're just that poorly written.
Yeah.
Information's good, but they're poorly written. So what I've taken to lately is, and this is only for books that I've purchased, so I wouldn't do no author like that. I'm trying to write a book right now. That shit's hard. I wouldn't steal it. So for
Right.
books I've purchased that I haven't finished that are nonfiction, I've been putting them in the AI I use is Gemini. There's like ChatGPT, Claude, whatever one you
Yeah.
use,
AI mode, all that. Yeah.
saying, give me 5,000 word recaps. And that's how I've just been absorbing that information. Is that cheating?
uh, I mean, I don't know. Is Spark Notes considered cheating? Because it's the same concept. You're not taking a test, so I mean, I'd say no. Did you read the book? No, but I mean, you
I
still got the
wouldn't claim I read
information.
the book. I would not make that
Yeah, yeah,
claim.
for
That's
sure.
still
Right, right.
invalid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean, as long as and honestly, I agree with you because a lot of the like I know you, so I know you read a lot of like sociology type books and things of that nature and stuff. So I mean, I don't know that I want to read 300 pages of why are people the way they are necessarily. Honestly like I love that kind of study the information, but that's why I just like read a lot of articles on those things
yeah.
because that just is catered more to my attention span with that sort of content.
And to be truth, a lot of these nonfiction books should have been articles. Like they're
Yes.
like it just, and a lot of them that's how they start. Like they were published in like the Atlantic, and then they got a book deal, and but they only really,
So why not stretch it out and
it's like those
you know
TV shows that are movies, but they need 8 episodes, so they
it
just meander for a little bit.
right, correct.
And so the way I justified it is I'm taking the information and presenting it to myself in a more efficient way, right?
Right.
Is that not what a book is? That's a researcher taking years of his research and presenting it to me in a more efficient way. So he might have read
Fair.
1,000 books to write those 300 pages. I'm just taking
True.
another step. You know,
Yeah. It's just
like
it's an abbreviated annotation, so to speak.
okay, fair enough. So we'll start it with this here. Just a quick question to warm the crowd up. So let's say you heading out on a poetry retreat, right?
Okay.
But your options to cook when you're on this retreat are going to be extremely limited.
Right.
So night before, you can have any food, any meal you want. What is the meal you're having? You're off on
Okay.
this retreat for like 90 days. So it's not like a
Okay.
week where you can just come back and
Got
eat
you.
it. 90 days, you're going
All
away.
right.
What's the meal before you head
Mm,
out to this poetry retreat?
that's a good question. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have like a smorgasbord of shit. I'm not gonna hold you. Uh, so I'm gonna have like start off with like charcuterie board for like the
Okay.
appetizer. Then I'm gonna do maybe some street tacos for like a heavy entree or a
Okay.
heavy hors d'oeuvre. And then I'm gonna round it out with a crab boil
Okay.
and
Okay.
just eat till I pass out.
Um, I could fuck with that. I really, really love good chicken parm. And you give
Yeah,
me some fried chicken, some cheese, some pasta, some good red
some
sauce,
tomatoes. Yeah,
tomatoes. You got the fresh mozzarella melted over the top of it.
yeah, a little bit of
Fresh
garnish.
basil, chicken parm for me, man.
Yeah,
I'm with you on the charcuterie board. I love a charcuterie board.
me too,
I never make them because they're a pain in the ass, and it's just me. So
for
it's
sure.
like, but when it's on the menu, I'm ordering it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I think I think I would go with chicken parm on that one.
yeah, I fuck with a good charcuterie board.
So, go keep it with the theme here. I got what was it here? I got you need to rank these five beers, right? So
Yeah.
we got five beers. Number one is the free beer. Number two is the first beer of the weekend. Number
Hmm.
three is the AM airport beer. Number four is a campfire beer, and number five is a shower beer. What? How do you rank in those five?
How am I ranking those five? Okay, I'm gonna say I mean it's the list is not too bad to be honest with you, but I'm gonna go first beer of the weekend, number one. I'm gonna go AM airport beer number two because that means you're on vacation and you're about to go somewhere and get lit. I'm gonna go free beer number three, campfire beer number four because we don't really do a whole lot of camping. I ain't camped since I left the Boy Scouts. Shout out Troop 937. I don't remember the extra troop number. And then I'm gonna go shower beer number five because if it's life's gotten that bad for you, it's time to call the lady and call the Lord and call that 1-800 number uh, and take them 12 steps.
To blacken up the inquiry, we'll replace campfire beer with like I don't
Yeah,
know beach beer,
like
Airbnb beer. So
kickback beer, garage beer with
yeah,
the boys. Yeah,
um, pretty similar list. I started with first beer of the weekend. That first
yeah,
beer at 10 o'clock. I usually get there about 9:30.
yeah,
That it's hard to beat that. That one's
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah,
Especially just because you worked all week and like all my heavy lifts are done. Like the only thing left to work out is like that Saturday little light jog, and
yeah,
it's like the week is complete. The week is not complete till you had that Friday evening beer.
yeah. For me, the
Um,
weekend doesn't start till like that first like Friday libation.
Correct. Airport beer for sure. They taste
Yeah,
better there. They just do. You got your suitcase there, and like like you're sitting down. It's the middle of the morning. There's no judgment.
yeah.
That's why I don't mind when people say, I showed up to the airport 2 hours early. I'm like, so?
They probably just wanted to eat,
Yeah.
eat and drink.
Like don't get me wrong, I don't like to just sit at the airport for hours on end, but if I get to the airport early or if I have a
Yeah,
long layover, I mean, it's just like sitting in the mall now. Airports aren't like they used to be.
right.
Third one, we're gonna go campfire beer for me on that one
Okay.
because the beer I drink is cheap anyway, so getting a free one is nice, but it's
It's
not like
right. You saved me $4.
I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna take it,
Yeah,
but
it's a nice
it's not
gesture.
like you getting your meal comped, which is actually like
Right.
that's a plug, that's and then again, shower beer. It's time to have some conversations.
With yourself and a licensed professional counselor.
Like water's getting in the can. Is water like how are you
Yeah.
even like where's your free hand even? Aren't you busy in the shower? Where are you even setting it while you shower? Where are you putting this beer? Why
If
do you
you
have
have
a
like
cup
I guess
holder?
you have the shower or a shower rack or whatever, you know. I don't know.
Oh
Um,
man, that's sad.
have you seen any of those? You probably haven't, but there's these TikToks. There's TikTok trend where people have been doing like shit, random shit like that. Not beer, but like one of them was like, uh, this guy goes, eating a banana in the shower to see what it feels like to be a gorilla in the rainforest. It's just
Okay.
like
Um,
the problem was the guy was black, so the comments went crazy.
I which okay, so which would be more problematic if a white dude did that TikTok or a black dude?
What if a white dude did it? There'd be no racial overtones. The black dude did it. He set himself up for, you know, what happened in those comments.
I don't really like
I
when
mean, either
white
one's
people say
bad.
gorillas. I'm just
Yeah, you know
off
what?
that.
You know what? That's true. I don't even like when they talk about monkeys. I'm not. Planet of the Apes is a little too rude for me.
Yeah, anytime you like, I'm trying to be a gorilla. I'm like, can you walk me through that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not casting aspersions. I just need you to
No,
explain it
no,
to
I
me.
feel you. I feel you. Yeah, explain that to me, please.
Yeah, yeah. Like, remember when the nigga that be dancing
Yeah, the grooving gorilla.
he used to
Yes.
call himself the Grooving Gorilla, and I don't
Yeah.
know how he made it to his age without knowing why that was a bad look. But he
Yeah.
did change his name to his credit. But I don't know what was your
Yeah.
social environment where you didn't already know
Where you
that you
thought that
shouldn't
that
call
was
yourself
okay.
a gorilla.
I need to know. I need to talk to the people in his life. It also reminds me of like when before Lotto changed her name from Mulatto, as if that's a big difference. But I
It
always thought that was
worked.
a little weird.
No one talks about it
Yeah, it did.
anymore.
No, it did. It did. Which is kind of
Um,
crazy because that's not even a rebrand. That's just a shortening.
it's yeah, and then I forget who, but like I was like some person went viral for being Donkey Kong, a black dude being Donkey Kong
Oh,
on Halloween,
yeah.
and it was a Mario themed party. I'm like,
Yeah.
You didn't.
That's you didn't. I'm gonna guess he was the only black person at the party. That's just the vibe that I get here in that story.
It was one picture, so I'm not sure. I'm sure there was more
Okay,
people that weren't pictured in the party, but like
right,
the picture was, he was the only monkey in the
yeah.
picture.
No, yeah, yeah. It's like or like those Halloween photos where like
No one
it's a
was
group of friends.
Diddy Kong.
Yeah,
Like,
or like those Halloween photos where it's like a group of friends and they went as like Scooby Doo and all them,
yeah,
or like the mystery machine, the whole crew, and then they have like the one black friend as Shaggy or
yeah.
as Scooby. Like that's always a little weird.
Not even a little. That's a lot of weird.
It's a lot of weird. Yes, a whole lot of weird.
Um, yeah, I'll never forget the time I was at. I might have told this story on the pod before. I'm getting old, repeating myself. But I was at somebody's birthday party, and it was like a
Mhm.
masterpiece theater. Someone was figuring something out, mystery
Okay.
thing, and everyone had to play a
Okay.
character.
Yeah.
And I was the only black guy at the party. And it really was random. Wasn't nobody owned nothing, but like cards went
Yeah.
out, and the character I pulled was prisoner. And my homegirl, I'm not gonna name her, but I'll always appreciate her for this. She looked at me and looked at my card and just whispered, "You want to switch?" I was like, "Yes." I just don't want to do
Please.
this. And we switched, and she never said a thing about it. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. So, moving on to the next random prompt I found on the internet. The
Yeah.
tweet says, "What thing was ruined because it turned into a rich person's hobby?" Before we start reading random people that responded, what do you have?
Okay. I mean, the short answer is everything. Podcasting, having fun, um,
You had at least one
work.
original one though, right?
No, I'm kidding. No. I mean, I think probably, huh. I mean, I saw some good answers online. I mean, I've been thinking about for a lot of the day, to be honest with you. I'd probably say we talked about this earlier, but I'd say they kind of killed the sneaker resale market. Like before, it was like just regular people doing it,
Yeah.
and then now it's like uber rich people reselling for 10x, the original or retail price. I'd say that's one thing for sure that's
I
been
have
kind of
my
fucked up.
Look, I'm not crazy. Look, I participate in resale culture, so I don't
Yeah,
resell, but like if I want a shoe and it's over, yeah, I can't get it. I'm just gonna pay resale. But
right,
what bothers me is when people say shoes used to be so accessible, they used to just be in the store. And
right,
true, they were in the store, but they were never accessible. Those shoes were like $150 in the 90s,
true.
right?
Yeah,
And so what I hear when people say that is, I don't want the shoes to be accessible. I just wish when I was inside the velvet rope. Like because they were
right.
never accessible. These were
Yeah,
never
yeah.
reg like they were in the store, but couldn't nobody just go and buy them. People were like
That's fair.
having the
That's
J's
fair.
was still a status symbol. And so you just miss when you could flex the status. You don't actually care about these shoes being accessible. You just miss when you were inside the velvet rope. And you know the fact that Jordans were hard to get was part of the theme the whole
Part of
time.
the
It's just
allure.
yeah, they were in the store. They just were very expensive. And I mean now, even now, I think it's kind of like a dated belief. Like it's gotten a
Yeah.
little tighter, but all of
Hmm.
2024, I got every shoe that I wanted for retail. 2025, there was
Yeah.
some things that I missed that I paid resale for, but
Hmm.
it's not like 2020 where man,
No, that shit was crazy in 2020.
from like 18 to 21, it would turn 10 a.m. and it would immediately say sold out. Like you couldn't
Everything was,
even
yeah, you couldn't get anything
the
anywhere.
app was like broken, and so
Yeah.
that sucked. And I admit
I
that was
just like stopped
discouraging.
buying shoes during that time period, or stopped trying to buy J's during that time period. I was like, well, fuck it, I'll wait. I'll
Yeah.
wait.
And I think that's why Nike
Um,
fixed it because like
yeah,
you need to create a new generation of people who like the shoes, and if they can't get
correct.
them and
If no one
everyone
has
drops
them,
out,
then right.
that's the problem Disney's
Um,
running into is that their parks are getting so expensive that families can't
it's a
afford it,
luxury. Hmm.
and you're not generate like Disney adults, however you feel about them, were once
They're the
Disney
only ones that can
children.
go.
And if you need a new generation of Disney children to create Disney adults, and you know,
Disney
like
adults.
it's so. But I had one. Nightclubs.
You know what? That's a good one. They destroyed nightclubs.
They just
Everything
destroyed.
is
They're not even fun
overpriced.
anymore.
You section culture is has taken over. The bottle girls with the sparklers and the signs and shit. It's got to look like you just want an Oscar every night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't just pop
that's a good
out.
one.
You got to make it's got to be
No,
a thing. Um,
You gotta have like 300 to spare just to get just
you
to
know
have a
what?
good night out.
Someone made a good point, and they were like, when we were coming up, going out or whatever, like obviously we were broke and young,
Yeah,
but it was a time where you could be broke and not feel left out. Like you could still
correct.
go places,
Yeah,
pop out,
like you'd still pregame at home, but you could still have a good time when you got there.
$10 at the door, and if you ain't have no section, that was fine. Like the sections were a thing, but they weren't the whole
Yeah,
club, and you didn't
yeah,
need one to go
right.
out. And you could just pop out,
Yes.
pay the little $10 cover, nurse your little two drinks, and
Hmm.
just be outside. You were broke, but you could still participate in society. Now, if you
Right.
broke, you better make it a Netflix joint because you ain't going nowhere with that
You,
little 50.
no,
Uh,
no, 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 no,
like, dude, I could go out. I remember circa 2011, 2012. I could leave my
Yeah.
crib with $50 to my name and be straight. Like, was I
Have a good
balling
ass
out?
night.
No, but I was straight. Like,
No.
I didn't feel poor. Like I was
Right.
good.
Like you had your $20 you already saved to Uber home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had your $10 whatever for the cover, $20 whatever
Let's
for the
keep
case
it
for the
eight
cover
more than 92.
charge.
2011, we was driving drunk.
Oh, I wasn't driving out in 2011, so I was good.
This was for the listeners. This was I I'm not gonna lie. This was 2011 before Uber
Uber,
taxis
yeah,
was
yeah.
cost
Oh, true,
prohibitive.
yeah, yeah,
This was just be happy there's an app on your phone now that can just bring you a driver.
yeah.
But yeah, man, you could get in for $10. Drinks was $8. Like, and even then he was like, damn, eight. You get three drinks, pay your
Yeah,
cover.
8 felt like a steal, or 8 felt like highway robbery during that
Yeah,
time
and
period.
like hear some music, maybe talk to a girl, catch a couple dances, and go on your merry
Yeah.
way. And like all you needed was 50. Now, $50, bro.
$50, you can't even get a buzz on $50 at the at a club
Not
now.
unless you aggressively pregame.
Right, yeah.
But
At
yeah,
that point, you're probably gonna fuck the night up. So
I would say nightclubs going out. It
that's a good
used
one.
to be obviously there was tiers to it, but
Hmm.
you could participate. But now like everybody's a baller. Everyone wants to buy sections.
Yeah.
And now because everyone is doing it, you not doing it stands out. And it used to be the case
Hmm.
that sections was just for athletes and drug dealers. Like
Right. Like
all the
sections are
regular
so
people with
dominant.
regular jobs were in general
Yeah,
admission. Like it
they're so
wasn't.
dominant in clubs now. Like there's no room to literally walk in the club.
No,
Like there's no space to walk. There's no space to dance. Like it's it's just a long hallway, and then everything else is a section.
someone said the Washington Post. I thought that was a good one. Uh,
The newspaper.
yeah, Jeff Bezos bought it and just gutted it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's a good one. Streaming
um,
services.
is that a rich
Uh,
people thing though? I don't know.
well, the ads. I'd
Yeah.
say that, and then them all buying each other. That kind of fucked up the consumer experience. Um, I'd say an underrated one is Halloween.
Okay. Explain.
Because like, before it was like you could just go to the store, get your nice little costume or piece it together through your in your house or whatever. And then you go on social media now and it's like Travis Scott had like the fucking Batmobile with his costume and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Or like niggas had like diamond like teeth for their like just a Halloween cut, like, you know what I'm saying? Grills and shit. Not that they ruined it, but it does kind of pale your experience by comparison.
I
Um,
will say I did. This is unrelated, but someone
yeah.
related to how we are talking about how much it costs to go out. Someone made a good point, and they were like, "My friend was, this lady was saying that her friends were complaining that every time they want to hang out with their friends, it costs them $100 to $200." And she was like, "That's because you don't want nobody in your house." And we stopped,
Yeah.
it's like we
That's a good
stopped
one. That's a
inviting
good one.
people over,
Yeah.
hanging out. Like you and I don't.
There's no
This doesn't really
free.
apply to, but everyone's too good
Yeah.
to hang out at a dive bar on a Friday night now.
Right.
You got to go somewhere Instagrammable. You can't go,
God.
it's just, and
If we
so,
want to talk about Instagram places.
like, so a lot of these wounds are self-inflicted because you think you don't want anyone in your
Yeah.
space and you think you're too good to hang out in places that, got the $8 drinks. And so,
Right.
it's a two-edged sword. You have to, like, when I was coming up, going out like that, like, I had the apartment that was closest to downtown, and niggas
Mhm.
was in my crib all the time. Even if I
Right.
wasn't
Right.
going
Right.
out, they would stop at my
Pop
spot to
up
chill
and
for a little
yeah.
bit. Then they went out, and so you
Hmm.
have to be if you want community, you have to participate in it.
Right.
And
Nobody goes to anybody's house anymore.
no one goes to anyone's house. Everyone wants to meet at the restaurant, and the restaurant
Yep.
is got the green walls, and
And the neon lights or the neon signs.
then you go to some fancy bar where, there's stairs that wind and da 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 da, and every
Mhm.
cocktail is $19. Well, that's why it costs you $200 to hang out with your friends. Because y'all,
Yes, correct.
there's nothing
God
in
for
the
and
law that says you got to do that.
and those godforsaken Instagram brunches with the DJs.
No, man. If you walk
You
into a
know,
restaurant and you see a DJ, you just know off rip the food is mid.
you yeah, the food is made. You're waiting a long time for the food.
Yeah.
The service isn't going to be good. The water drinks going to be watered down. They're going to be overpriced, and the hookah's going to be 50 to $75.
And
That's
that's fine
guaranteed.
if that's what you want to do,
Right.
but it's like I like restaurants for food. I'm not going to restaurants for a vibe. That's not
No.
I'm not opposed to a vibe, but if I'm going to a restaurant, I'm there to chase the food. And
Yes.
so if I walk in and I see a DJ, it depends on like if it was my choice, I'm like, all right, let's try something else. But if it's someone else's situation, I'm not gonna be a
Yeah.
party pooper. But you just have to know off the rip. Like the biggest time that the food is mid is if you walk in and see a DJ. Like you just know that's not what they're
Oh, almost
doing.
every time. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You
So
can't even talk because you can't hear each other.
no, and you sit down in the middle, and like the sound is always fucked up because it's not a club, it's a restaurant, so the
Hmm.
acoustics aren't right for DJs,
Right.
and the music sounds like it's on top of your head, and the food isn't very good, and like you said, the service is bad, and all of the above. So, we got some
Yeah.
lighthearted stuff out the way. We're gonna pivot to you to talk about what you brought to the was it adult disappointment you want to talk about?
Yeah, there was a tweet that when viral's kind of been going around. Let me pull it up. So the original tweet was actually no, here it is. Yeah, there was a said my greatest adult disappointment was discovering that bad people get away with everything. And then of course everyone just kind of been flooding with their answer to that question or their opinion on that. Um, and honestly, that tweet did hit because it was just like everything we were taught growing up was like, yeah, be a good person, work hard, be kind to one another. And then you see what the evil people have in their life, and you're like, I'm sorry, not what's the reward, but it's almost like, what's the point? Now, again, the point is to do the right thing because it's the right thing. Of course, I'm not saying be shitty because you'll get rich, but it is funny and ironic the way that life kind of shows that some of that stuff doesn't matter as much as we think it does.
No.
At least in terms of I'll say material or financial success.
Yeah, do the right thing because it's intrinsic and valuable to you. But if
Correct.
you're expecting it to be rewarded in life, you're probably gonna be
It's not.
disappointed.
Yeah.
That's not to say it doesn't, but um, yeah, man. Sometimes I would say, oftentimes the bad guys win.
Yeah, they really do.
They really
They
do,
win a
man.
lot.
They really, really do, and yeah, I don't really know. Like and it's like with Hove, and it's like
Yeah,
I'm the biggest Hove fan. I wouldn't say biggest, but I'm a huge
you're a
Hove
Hovenger
fan,
for sure. Yeah.
right? And it's like there's just no ethical way to get $1 billion. There's just not. Like, and that's not.
Systemically, no.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like dude, you cannot. The level of wealth required to get there, you can't do that being ethical in your decision making, and that's fine as long as you're not breaking any laws. Like ethics aren't laws,
Right.
and you earn that wealth legally, and that's fine, and it's yours. And a lot of these billionaires do employ a lot of people. That like Hope said, I'd have made more millionaires in the lottery. And so there are positive externalities for someone chasing that level of wealth, but it is just true. Like
Right.
it's basically impossible to achieve that level of wealth while
Without
making
someone getting
ethical
stomped on.
decisions. Correct. Like it's just not. You're doing business deals. If you win them all, well, someone lost them.
Right. Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
the
Um,
other person was on the side of the table, and I'm sure they don't feel
yeah,
great about you winning all these business deals.
right. You negotiated versus someone. You
Right.
know what I mean? And even like, and again, so I watched, did you watch any of the Joe Budden Power where Mark Hill talked about this topic or
I
talked
did
about kind
not
of the
know.
subject of it was a great debate. You should definitely watch it for sure. He made a lot of great points, and it's like again, no one's saying Jay-Z's a bad person because he is a billionaire. We're saying capitalism breeds greed, and that's a byproduct of becoming a billionaire. Like that's just reality, and it's like LeBron James. I love LeBron. I don't think he's a bad person at all, but he made a lot of money from Nike.
Right.
Nike has those sweatshops. Cheap labor equals
Yeah.
profit. Like that's just.
Well,
That's the
just
system. That's what it does.
well, just like people applaud, and it's not just him, but people applaud player
For sure.
empowerment, but it's like it's really superstar empowerment because
Right.
midway through the 2018 season when LeBron dogs it in December because the team isn't good enough, and then they trade, I think it was like
Everybody.
Mon Shumpert, but like ask the players
Yeah.
who got traded how that felt.
Right.
Like he was empowered to trade half the roster, but I'm sure they didn't love that. It's like
Right.
superstars amassing all this power means someone loses the power. And
Correct.
like all the like, oh, I want this, I want to go get Anthony Davis, but like four guys got traded out who might have liked living in LA. No one cares about them,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's just
And he's better than all of them combined, so it was a smart trade,
correct.
obviously.
It was a
But
smart thing to do, but
yeah,
like you said, if you're winning all these
there
situations,
is collateral damage.
someone is losing. What I will
Yeah.
say is, people got like the Joe Budden TV show, Freudian slip. The Joe Budden podcast is a TV show, and those
Right.
people are on there playing characters within a TV show. So when you
Correct.
see often like, why is the Mark Lamont Hill? I couldn't handle how he's arguing with these idiots, and that's like
He's
saying
paid handsomely.
and that's like saying I don't understand why Martin puts up with Cole. Like you're watching a
Right.
show.
Yeah, it's they're playing roles, these are characters,
It's
they're
all part of
fictionalized
the
versions of
ecosystem.
themselves. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
like it's
saying? Yeah, like in what other world would Mark Lamont Hill, who's as educated as he is, need to debate economics with no disrespect, Zaire Franklin, Ish, Joe Budden, so
which
like
one is a real estate developer?
Flip
That one he probably knows a
Ish.
thing or two.
Yeah, yeah,
I imagine he's pro capitalism. But what I will say is that
for
the
sure.
Mark Lamont Hill would look like obviously he's a very smart man, but he would look
For
different
sure.
debating a real economist,
Right.
like, and
And
obviously
I'm
I'm
sure
not
he'd
an
hold his
economist.
own.
Cool. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, and I'm sure, but it would not be this what that was.
It wouldn't be such a stark yeah.
And, that economist would say, I'm not an economist, with that, while yes, capitalism has winners and losers, but the rising tide lifts all the boats. And it's not going to
Yeah.
lift every boat. But, Mark Zuckerberg, I think Facebook is responsible for like 43 millionaires. Like, like the
Hmm.
six people who founded Facebook, however
Right.
many, are all stupid rich. Most of them billionaires,
For
some
sure.
of them, but just between salaries and stock options and like the people on the periphery, like 40 something people became millionaires just working at Facebook, being around, getting stock options. And the same thing with Google. But, did Mark Zuckerberg go out to do that on purpose? No, he was chasing his own
No.
wealth. But again, the
Correct.
positive externalities come from that. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly. I agree.
but yeah, people gotta, like you said, Mark Lamont Hill is paid handsomely for that, and it's
Yeah.
part of the whole. Like everyone has a character. Like there's
Hmm.
a gesture, there's a host. He's the smart guy on the show. It's no different than watching CNN. Those are the cameras go off, everybody
Correct.
shakes up. They like, hey, we 8 o'clock tomorrow. Like,
Right.
like that's those debates on
Yeah, it's
CNN.
like Hannity and Combs,
Yeah, and it's
Um,
like it's not like they don't genuinely hold these positions, but it's all a
right.
production.
For sure.
So. Moving on to time management or your executive function, I think we got here.
We got can we pull that thing up? Yeah, executive dysfunction. Yeah, so I was actually talking to a friend a couple of days ago. We were talking about like life and work-life balance and uh building routines and particularly like working out and stuff like that. And she was telling me, I wanted to go to the gym, but the last few weeks I've just been dealing with so much like executive dysfunction. I had not heard that term before, so I looked it up, and it turns out that's actually something I explains my life a lot actually. When I went and read up on it and watched a couple YouTube videos on it over the last couple of days, and it's basically just kind of lays out the anxiety that comes with like planning things and having trouble executing said plan. Like paralysis by analysis, things. Those are kind of factors or symptoms of that phenomenon, if you will. So I thought it was pretty interesting because I'll be thinking of things like, I don't know if you do this, but I'll be like, oh, I have so much I need to accomplish. Okay, cool. So I need to do this, and this today. And then I'm like, damn, that's a lot of shit. I don't know where to start. It seems like a big task. And I'm like, that's overwhelming. And then you put it off, and then you shame yourself for not getting it done. And then you're like, I gotta make up for tomorrow by doing even more stuff. So it becomes a snowball effect of like unproductivity and like self-judgment. And then of course through all that you just get nothing done.
Um, yeah, I have experienced that. One thing that helps for me is I try to automate all the low stakes decisions.
Mhm.
I think I said this on a pod earlier or another pod where it's like I have to go into the office 3 days a week. Sunday I
Right.
pick all three fits for the office throughout the week.
Yeah.
And so that way if I wake up 10 minutes late or something goes wrong in the morning, that's one less decision I have to make.
Hmm.
Breakfast every day is a banana and some coffee and some apple cinnamon oats, which keeps me out of the Bojangles line, which keeps me on track with my calories.
Right.
Sunday I plan my lunches, and do I stick to it all the time? No, but like it's easier to focus at work and accomplish like the cognitively demanding tasks when I don't have to
Right.
worry about what I'm eating. Am I staying in line with my macros? And, woo, woo.
Hmm.
And so like what helps me is trying to automate as many of the low stakes decisions as I can. And so I try to maximize as much downtime. Like it's rare that I'm just like sitting on the couch, just like watching a game. Like I mean, if the game's important, that's different. But
Right.
the game's on, I'm prepping lunch for the next day. The game's on, I am
Hmm.
moving my laundry around, folding clothes. The game's on, I'm cleaning this thing that I have to clean. And it's just
Right.
you just try to I think that's the best thing. That's the best advice I would give people is just try to automate as many low stakes decisions as you can,
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised how much time is wasted figuring out what to wear every morning, which makes you late, which
Yes.
makes you panic, which makes and it's like
Forget
which makes you
things.
forget things, and it's just
Yeah.
like how much smoother your morning would be if you just knew what you're gonna wear. It sounds like it's not a big deal, but you'd be surprised how much it
Yeah,
helps. So.
a lot of like the tech guys and wealthy people they do that. Like if you notice, Steve Jobs always wore the turtleneck and the pants and the jeans and the dad shoes. Like I actually watched I think it's either Vanity Fair or GQ. They do this. They have this cool like channel thing where it's like they have celebrities talk about like their routine, like everything they do in a day. And Mark Cuban, he's like, I wear blue shirts, blue Maverick shirts if I'm doing like big meetings. If it's a light day, I'm wearing green Maverick shirts and jeans. Like,
That's a bit too automated for me. I like to wear
yeah.
different clothes.
You're
But
right.
uh, I pick the shoes I'm gonna wear, I pick the fits I'm gonna wear.
Yeah.
And that's just it automates it. The workouts I'm gonna do are already programmed. Um,
Mhm.
Dinner, I'm a bit more flexible there, but like I cooked yesterday and I can eat that through Wednesday. And so,
Yeah.
like Tuesday I get home from the gym and we pot in
Mhm.
an hour and a half, I don't have to worry about what I'm eating. I just reheat it. It's from the Tupperware is
Yeah.
reheated. That's one less thing I got to do, and that frees up some cognitive space to prepare for the pot. And so just different things like that. So,
Yeah. I
um,
feel you.
you have anything else for
Um,
that one?
yeah, I was gonna ask, so actually I was speaking of that, I was talking to same friend the other day and I was saying, uh it makes you wonder about like how much creativity slash art is lost to like just working and like our
Yep.
work schedule and like work life lack of work life balance. Like I know I'd be thinking like come up with a lot of ideas like for me at least when I'm most not I won't say unhappy, when I'm just in at least good mood, a lot of my creative stuff. Because they say, necessity breeds invention. I feel
Yep.
like boredom and misery a lot of times breed creation. But then I'll be like, oh man, I can't really just go away and work on my creative shit for 2 hours because I have to work during the day. And even though you may jot down those ideas, it comes to a point where you have so many ideas to catch up on, you almost can't finish all of them, or you feel like you can't finish all of them. So it makes you think of like a lot of the art that we may have lost due to like our just daily like productive lives. I want to ask you if that's something that you struggle with, or if that's something you've ever uh had to overcome, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes I do think creatives and people in the creative space underrate just like time on task, how much that's like they think like when you're
Yeah,
at work and you're just doing rote tasks and you're just like, okay, I just gotta knock this out. They think that doesn't
right.
really apply to creativity, but a lot of
Hmm.
times if you just say, from 8 to 9 o'clock, I'm writing
Yeah.
400 words and I don't care. It's what I have to do. Treating it like cleaning your back. Like I think a lot
Hmm.
of creatives sit around waiting on some spark like it's a movie.
Right. Yeah, they do.
And
That's
you'd
a
be
real thing.
surprised how much good art comes from, no, I have to sit down and do this. That's it. It's not,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling great. It's like going to the gym when you don't feel great. sometimes you just got to go. And like you just got to sit in
Hmm.
front of that laptop and stare at that blank screen and not get up until you have something written down. And no,
Yeah.
it's not like a movie where you like the light bulb goes off and you're like, and like
Yeah,
you
that's
get the Rocky music and you run up the stairs and you pound. No, like you'd be surprised how
and you
much
pound
stuff.
out 600 words.
Yeah, just you have to sit down when you're bored and you know, when you'd rather be watching the game or you'd rather be scrolling Instagram, you're just
Hmm.
like, no, I'm just gonna put this down. I don't have any inspiration. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna sit down in front of this blank word page and I'm just gonna type until
Yep.
something happens. And I think if you just wait around for a spark, oftentimes you just won't ever start, you know?
No, yeah, yeah.
So I will say that though, I have one thing absolutely like I'm hacking for myself is like
Hmm.
so I don't have a laptop right now. All of my work, even personal, well, I have a work laptop, but all my personal stuff is done on a desktop. And so
Got you.
I'm in the market for a laptop. I think I'm gonna get one. I'm traveling next week for a family event. And so after that, I think I'm going to buy a laptop so that when I'm sitting on my couch, I can crank out some work,
Yeah,
some personal stuff. And I think that would make me more productive because it's surprisingly difficult to like get up from the couch and go to the computer and sit
it really
down.
is.
It feels like
Yeah.
I'm going back to work, even though it's not work. And so I think just
That
having a
walk,
laptop,
it's like the longest walk in the world.
yeah, and it's like, you know, I think like I don't want to overrate comfort because I think a lot of work is just in I think being comfortable while you work is kind of overrated. Like you kind of it forces
Hmm.
you to get more done when you want to get done, and you're not just
Yeah.
like you know in a ball of comfort. But I do think a happy medium is just like getting a laptop, and you know cranking things out instead. You know the time I spend watching whatever show, scrolling my phone, I can just put the phone up and type out.
Yeah.
Um, some things on the laptop. So that'll be working on pod stuff. That'll be working on
Hmm.
a couple of projects, a couple of writing projects I'm working on, and I think that'll make me more productive that way. So that's
Yeah.
kind of one of my happy mediums there.
Yeah, I think one thing at least I had to do it myself, is like I had to remove like all excuses for like not doing certain things. Like I would tell myself like, oh, I don't read more at night because uh my light switch is further away from my bed, so I have to get up to go read, even if I want to read in bed. So I was like, okay, let me buy a lamp, and I'm gonna buy like the easiest lamp ever. So I bought a lamp with like a the whole stem of the lamp is like a touch screen, basically. Like you can just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or and I bought like a white noise machine because for me, silence is actually very distracting. So I bought a white noise machine or like Bluetooth device that I can use for like ASMR when I'm reading or writing. I'll go to for the people who have ADHD, like HBO Max and a lot of these streaming services have a lot of ASMR stuff and like ambient screens with cool backgrounds that last 3 4
What's
hours.
ASMR?
I forgot what it stands for, but it's basically like, do you know what the Calm app is?
I
Um,
don't.
it's it's like a like soothing noises,
Calm.
basically, pretty much like sound effects.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Yes, that's
Learn
exactly what
something
it
new
is.
every day. Um,
So like I'll go to YouTube and I'll search like Hogwarts uh common room and pick on whichever one has the longest runtime,
okay.
and I'll just have that as a back like in my on my TV while I'm reading or writing or something like that. Like when I'm trying to read more, so you again it's like such a habit you have to really rebuild. So
Yeah.
I'll buy paperback copies. If I need to, then I'll buy the Kindle version, and then if I need to, then I'll also buy the Audible, so I have no excuse to not finish this task by hook or by crook. Because finishing things is really difficult for I think for a lot of us, especially in this ADHD society. So I had to like
Is it harder
eliminate
to finish or harder to
any
start?
comfort. Mm. So for me, it depends. If it's something that I didn't make, it's harder to finish. If
Okay.
it's something I have to make, it's harder to start.
To me, it's always harder to start. Once I am in the mode,
Hmm.
um, I can knock it out, especially if it's something that I've done before, like editing the pod.
Hmm.
I can edit 3 episodes of the pod in like 2 hours. I just have to start,
Hmm.
you know, and it's like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
once I
yeah, that's real
do,
shit.
I can't edit the pod with like while listening to music because I have to
Right.
listen to the pod. And so,
Correct.
it just makes me want to, but it just, once I start, I'm fine, but it's just, you know,
Hmm.
getting off that couch and starting. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah, that's hard for me too because I'll be watching the show and I'm like, I could be doing pod stuff right now. So I'll either find something that I can do without having to, while still being able to listen to the show, or I'll just be like, all right, fuck it, I got to pause the show for an hour to edit these clips up, or watch the video so I can find a good thumbnail, screen grab for a thumbnail, so on and so forth. So that is a thing too. I think also like just fucking starting is an underrated tactic.
Yeah.
Like scheduling is important, but sometimes it's like, all right, fuck it, I don't care if it's 6:07. I just need to start this thing.
Um, you said scheduling important. I think people underrate that too. Every task of mine is like on the calendar. And so
Mhm.
even if I snooze it and do it later, just having the reminder on my phone really does
Yeah.
matter. And just planning, like I'm flying next weekend, next Friday. Like I've already started a packing list. Now, is that early, too early? Probably. But like as I'm like planning the outfits that I'm gonna wear my niece's baby shower. And so like okay, I'm gonna do this and that. And it just not backloading the decisions makes is going to make traveling much less stressful. And so
Yeah.
and that leaves you space for things to come up. If I have to if I'm making my packing list 7 days ahead of time and I know, okay, I need to grab this, that makes that's easier
Hmm.
than having to run the Target, 3 hours before the flight. So
Right.
um was that all part of time management or did you have another one?
Well, I mean, that was it. Kind of bleeds into the time management. So yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I think for me, like, one thing I had to I watched this YouTube video actually on executive dysfunction, and they're saying, you can't do everything every day. So I get stuck in like feeling guilty for not doing everything every day. Like, in theory, I'm like, okay, I want to, if it's a work day, work, obviously. If not, then write, do some reading, and work out, and then like something just fun, just because. But the truth is, there's not time every single day for you to do all those things and work, and life happens and things happen and you get tired and family emergencies and so on and so forth, shit you forget that you're supposed to do. So I had to really like, I have to remind myself, like, okay, like, say the focus this week is maybe going to be more on writing than working out, or more
Yeah.
on reading than writing, things like that. But as long as I'm doing one of those two or three things outside of just working and the podcast, then I'm on the right track.
Yeah, I also think people obviously you want to create some space and you want some of your time to be yours. But I think people fall into an unproductive loop where they think work
Mhm.
is for work and off work is for me, and they don't feel like they have to do anything when they get off work because their work was their productivity for the day. And
Right.
don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
that some days it's like that, but like no, like I think I see a lot of people, they're like, well, I stay up late because that's the only time to myself, and it's like,
Right.
well, you're less the fact that you're sleep deprived is killing your productivity during the day and you could get like it's like you don't understand like these things are all interconnected.
Yeah.
Like you need like no like part of you have to go to bed early and you have to manage your time better. If you find yourself ripping and running until 10 o'clock at night, um then you need to ask what can I do to make my processes more efficient? And sometimes you can. If you have a 2 hour commute to work or something like that, okay, that's
Yeah,
different.
you're kind of fucked.
If you're running the kids around to different practices and things like that, I get it.
Hmm.
But I imagine if I most of the people that complain about that, if you just did an audit of their day, you would find a lot of this.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. Like,
How efficient are you actually with your
yeah,
time? You know?
time blindness is a real thing. I know because I'm time blind like a motherfucker. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this for 5 minutes. I look up, it's been 3 hours.
I mean, I obviously like I fell down. I what I had Google Gemini and I was like, walk me through like the day-to-day life of what it would have been like to be a slave on the Mississippi Delta in 1820. I'm weird.
Mhm.
And that wormhole was like 90 minutes. Did you know that the slave quarters were like more downstream in the swampy area, so they had massive pest issues and like
Mm.
some of the first insect repellents were like slave innovations where like knew which tree
Oh
barks to
wow,
burn and would like rub the barks on themselves because you would get malaria and illnesses and just
that actually makes a lot of sense.
and
Unfortunately,
so I was just like stuff like that I'll get lost in 90 minutes. And
yeah,
so I get it, but you have to make a choice, and I bet you if you audited a lot of those people's days, you would see a lot of time, a lot of opportunities in corporate speak, a
Oh, for
lot
sure,
of
for
a
sure.
lot of opportunities.
Yeah, okay, so like to this day that the ocean, the topography of the ocean has never really recovered from the slave trade. Like the shark ecosystem in
Yeah.
certain waters and oceans is still more dense than it was supposed to be than it originally was prior to the slave trade because of all the dead bodies that were thrown overboard.
There's stories of sharks literally just like trailing the ships because it
Yeah.
was like, it's like your cat looking at the food timer,
Hmm.
for lack, I mean, that's not funny, but it's kind of like the
Right.
same. They know this is where food is
Yep.
at, and they know it's coming off the thing. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, it was, so it was like I asked what the life was like, and then I just was like, did they have issues with roaches? And then it was like, of course. And then, also, and then just mosquitoes, and it was like, and it followed up. It was like, well, would you like to know some home remedies that came up with mosquitoes? And I was like, yes. And then it
Yeah.
just went into explaining, and maybe these AIs aren't 100%. Maybe they hallucinated some things, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, 90 minutes later, I was watching the South Carolina Elite Eight game, and they were
Yeah,
boring.
got fucking dog walked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like scroll on my phone. This is boring.
Yeah.
Uh, but I want to move on. You got anything else for that one? So, workshopping the name for this segment, but basically, uh, as a way to get the audience to get to know us and how we think about things. Just gonna add a random question through the week, multi-part, just kind of see we both answer it and see where it goes. Maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't. But I found a
Okay.
survey, and I got a survey question to ask. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, and the survey says, and these questions are meant to be provocative. They're not meant to be neutral. So, just
Yeah.
answer how you feel. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Do you strongly disagree, agree, or strongly agree?
I disagree.
Okay.
Do you want an explanation, or are we just going through more
Yeah,
questions? I
yes.
wasn't sure how.
That was just
Oh,
one.
shit.
Just one.
Okay, okay. Oh,
The,
okay. I
the
thought it was
survey is like
okay.
50 things. It would be a whole episode.
Okay,
So
gotcha. I
yeah.
was like, is there more questions? Or okay, yeah, I disagree. I think obviously the punishment and discipline is important when it comes to unlawful behavior. But if the people are not, uh, well, I mean, if it's a life sentence, then it doesn't matter. With all due respect, but if they're going to be released back into society, they need to be rehabbed. Mentally, they need to have uh, behavioral therapy, job training, regaining social skills, things of that nature. There's a lot of uh, work that goes into being in society as a human being, period, let alone one who's been through the psychological toll that comes with incarceration.
Okay. And this is after they've been punished, all right?
Correct. Yeah, or
So
while they're being punished.
okay, so that is more important, the rehabilitation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah.
So I guess my question, so where is the state's obligation? Is the state's obligation to the offender or to society at large?
Well, I'd say I think it's equal because
Okay.
the obligation to the society is being performed during the punishment, the incarceration.
Okay.
But while they're being incarcerated, there are steps that need to be taken to rehabilitate them from day one, so that way when they are released back into society, they are no longer a danger to other people or harm to themselves or a detriment to civilized behavior.
Actually, this may surprise you, but I agree. I actually wrote in my answer to this question would be agree. Um, but I think we kind of are on the same length as far as like
Mhm.
incapacitation is important. People will never get me out of that one.
Right,
It
right,
is,
right. Yeah, yeah. You got to go away if you do
you
some
have to go
certain
away.
shit. Yeah.
But I am a believer in the scholarship that says certainty of punishment is more important than severity of punishment. And by that I mean like
Yeah.
if someone knows that there's a high likelihood that they will be caught for the crime, that is far more likely to prevent them from doing the crime than if they
Hmm.
knew there's a low likelihood of getting caught, but they'll go away for
But it's
100
a
years.
long, yeah, yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So like murder, by and large, like we solve on average like 50% of murders in the United States.
Mhm.
I mean, some jurisdictions more than others, but at a nationwide level. Um,
Yeah.
but the ones we do solve, we put them away forever and ever and ever. I actually think it would be more effective if we just knew for like if we raise that clearance rate to like 85%, a lot less people would offend if they knew they were going
Right.
to jail. Even if, like, let's just say the armed robbery, let's say that punishment was 5 years. Right now, it's
Right.
exorbitant. It's like 20. It was five, but you never get caught for it, right?
Hmm.
If you knew for a fact that you're going to get 5 years every time you do this, you're far more likely to do it than if you knew 1 in 20 times you do it, you're going to get 30
And you're gonna
years.
get 20
You
years.
know,
Yeah.
and so I think we're on the same page. And like once you've, I do believe the reason I said I agree is I do believe the priority is incapacitation. Like you have to,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
the majority of crime is committed by the minority of people. Not minority people, a minority of people.
Yes. Smallest number of people, not black people.
Yes.
Okay.
A small percentage is a better way to say it. A small percentage of people commit the majority of crimes. And
Yeah.
so, and it does not take a lot of crime to cause an exponential impact on society. I believe we were talking at a bar, and I was like, most major cities, 52 murders a year is a really good number. But
Right.
if they were all in your neighborhood and you saw a corpse once a week, you would be like, this is unacceptable. Like,
Yeah.
so it does not take a lot.
You'd be like, is it raining people out
You're right.
here?
You'd be like, and then if you came to me with that and I was like, well, on this chart, you'd see it's a nationwide low. You'd be like, dude, there's a
Get the fuck
rotting
out of
corpse.
here.
Every day I send my kids to the bus stop, there might be a rotting corpse out there.
Right. One of them is the kids at the bus stop.
Like, so I I agree to the answer to the question because I'm taking it like which one is more important. And if I had to choose one, I would
Yeah.
say incapacitation is more important because the state has a bigger obligation to society at large because the vast
Okay.
majority of people are not committing crimes. And
Yeah.
so if I have to choose something to prioritize, it would be punishment over rehabilitation. But that's not to say rehabilitation isn't important. I do think our prisons are way too harsh. Um,
Yeah.
One of the things that make me cringe more than anything is when a criminal that who's committed one of the crimes that everyone can agree is bad, like violence
Hmm.
against children, violence against women, things like that. And
Right.
people like brag about the sexual assault they'll have to endure in prison or the stabbings they'll have to endure. And I'm like, it's actually
Mhm.
not good that our prisons are run by gangs that are insanely violent. And that's not something we should be proud of.
Yeah.
Like, if someone
Right.
is offending, they should be incapacitated, but they should be able to do their time in peace.
Yeah.
They are removed from
I
society.
Yeah.
They
It's
can,
it's like, yeah, selfishly as a human, you want that to happen to them, some of them, but
yes.
it's also like that's not going to make them a better for society or better to even to the people in the community of the prison system.
And also,
Um,
like, to someone else, a crime that you want to go easy on is that severe to them. Like, so
yeah,
Tory Lane is a good example, right?
right.
Who's to say that is more but like someone does an armed robbery that you never heard of and you want the state to go easy on them and you want them to be able to, go to prison and do their time and go home
Do
or
their time
whatever.
and get out. Yeah.
Like someone was on the other end of that gun that they pointed at. You know,
Yep. Right.
like
That
you
poor
have no
bank
empathy.
teller
Like, I'm
who,
sorry they weren't a famous rapper, but like that person
yeah,
is, is mad too.
correct. Yeah.
You
Like think about
know,
it. Like, okay, say it was set it off and say
yes,
like Darnell who did the bank robbery didn't kill people, right?
right,
Vivica A. Fox still lost her job.
yes,
She still can't pay her bills.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? Other bankers who maybe, let's say the bankers, there were other bankers there who also maybe didn't got in trouble for not pressing the silent alarm.
right.
They're all fucked too. But society would say, a lot of people would say, well, they came from this background
Yeah.
and empathy and this, and I'm not even saying that's necessarily wrong.
Right.
They would talk about the societal pressures that caused the crime, not the crime itself. And it's like, well, which one is it?
A lot. My biggest issue with a lot of criminal justice reformer is there's very little space to understand where the victims
Nuance.
of these crimes are coming from.
Mm.
If my niece or something is working at a Wendy's and someone comes and points a gun in their face and no, they didn't shoot her or whatever, but they robbed the place,
Mhm.
they took the money out the drawer. Um, like I'm sorry, but yes, I want the state to apprehend this person, put this person in jail. And that's not to say they should go away forever without the key, but
Right.
I believe that the state owes my niece more than that person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Agreed.
and that's not like I believe our prisons by and large should be orderly. They should be safe. They should be once you're in there, there should be some sort of plan for making this person productive again.
Yeah.
But I'll never be like some soft on crime person. Like we need
Mhm.
to like I'm not an abolitionist. I think that stuff is insane. Uh
Yeah.
I've yet to have I've yet to have them explain to me in any way that makes sense how we would like anyway, well that's a whole nother thing. And I've read the
Yeah.
literature. I don't it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Mhm.
But I guess I would just succinctly sum it up with the state should prioritize the victims over the criminals, but that's not to say they should ignore it. Like there should be some sort of plan.
There's a balance.
Correct. And like obviously, it's expensive to imprison people. These people, and also
Yeah.
they're not economically productive when they're in prison. Like we could, you
Correct.
know, use these people out in society, being productive, paying taxes. That should be the end
Hmm.
goal
Correct. And I
after we've, made
after
sure
they've done
that
their time.
correct. That's the best way
Yeah,
I can put it.
that's what I actually was doing. Been doing some research throughout the course of the day, and it's actually cheaper to educate and train someone who's incarcerated than it is to basically reincarcerate them. Which speaks to my point about the rehabilitation of the inmates.
Um, Obtaining a job is the biggest predictor of recidivism. Like if someone gets a
Correct.
job and they have something to look forward to and they have a paycheck to look forward to and they have a
They're
future,
like 43% more likely to not go back
correct. But if you just dump them on the street with $3 and no one
and
will
no
hire them,
skills.
it's a little different now because the labor market's a little well, it was strong.
Well, but it's pretty awful now. I mean,
But like,
nowadays unemployment is damn near suicide.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
And so but yeah, like you would ideally want these people to guarantee the punishment, make the punishment
Hmm.
on the shorter end with a plan for reintegration. Would be my ideal world. Like I would, if I was in charge, if I could wave a wand and in charge, I would totally detach patrol cops
Hmm.
from investigative work. I think one of the biggest issues we have in policing is that the way to become a detective is to be a patrol cop, but those are two different skill sets. Um,
Correct.
and so I would make investigative work like a totally separate, like 4-year college degree path. And so
I agree.
you could get more talented people in the field. Um, and I would just pour resources into solving more crimes, investigative work, and work on increasing the certainty of being caught would do much more than just like catching 10% of criminals and just throwing them away forever. That's not
Right.
working. Like like it's not working. So, try to get more talented people into investigative work and give them the resources to just, you know, like obviously you need patrol cops, you need people to call when there's some issues and
For
go to
sure.
this person and break up fights and da 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 da. But a whole separate career track for, all right, here's the case file, figure out what happened. Uh,
Yeah, nothing bothers me more than when I see someone get pulled over and there's a second cop car that comes up. It's like,
yeah,
did you need to go over there? Like, I'm pretty sure there's other things you could be looking out for.
yeah, that's true. To be fair, there's a lot of firearms amongst the civilian population in the United States. So
True. We are
anytime,
in no, we are in the South.
well, anytime someone compares like policing to like some country where there's no guns amongst the civilians, I'm like, you can't do that.
It's like, dude, it's not the Wild Wild West. Come on, man.
It is not unreasonable. Um, like what percentage of cars the cops pulls over the person is armed? And perfectly legal. This is America.
Yeah,
I'm not saying no laws are being broken,
if you're in
but
an
it's just
open carry
objectively
state,
true that when someone tells you, "Hey, I'm I'm holding lethal weapon," like that changes how you approach things. And so you
yeah,
can't really compare us to these countries where, only 5% of the population own firearms. Like that's not,
right.
so. That's all I had on that one, man. Come back next week. We'll have something else.
Yeah,
Some will be lighter, some will be deeper, but I'm just trying to at least let the people know who we are. Get us thinking a little bit, have a little
yeah, I think
fun,
it's
but also
important.
be a little serious. What's wrong with that? So,
I agree.
you have anything you want to
Um,
throw on at the end?
well, yeah, this is a quick little, I guess, announcement for the listeners. We are going to be branching out, doing a little bit more random topics, kind of pre-planned questions, things of that nature. So we do want your engagement. We want y'all to be a part of the show. Feel like you're a part of the you are a part of the audience, but we want you to be a part of the show. So feel free to send us questions and stuff. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. Out the Trunk Pod, Gmail, all that good stuff. because we do need your support and help as well to give you guys the best show that you want. What was I going to ask you? Oh yeah, did you see how now they're trying to like catapult Wemby to be the MVP favorite? How the fuck did that happen in 3 days?
Um, Someone said that
He's played less minutes than
that's what
a
I was thinking.
41-year-old who is not able to get any All NBA awards.
Um,
How does that make sense?
I think there's a top four. I think here's what I think. I think it's the dog days of the season. The playoffs start in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
and but the podcast still got to be recorded. The card article still
Yeah.
got to be written. And
True.
so, well, what if we give it to Wemby? It gives you something to talk
Right. What
about.
are we doing?
Right. The MVP is SGA's. I watched him Sunday walk down the Knicks in the Garden. No, that was at OKC.
Yeah,
And I do not enjoy watching him play, but he's the
I
MVP
hate
of the
it.
NBA.
Yeah, he's the MVP.
So I just think when it's all said and done, it'll be SGA, Wemby, Joker, Luca would be the top four in that order for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'd order it SGA. I'd go Luca Wemby Joker.
yeah. I do love how you have as much disdain for the foreigners as me. You just know how to say it in a polite way.
You know what's funny? It's not even I don't even hate that they're foreigners. It's just the particular foreigners we talk about, I hate them. I don't hate Joker. I just hate how he talks about the league and that whole I don't give a shit attitude because you don't get that great without giving a shit. Like that's just a gimmick you do so you don't get criticism. Um Wemby, I just feel like he's like the teacher's pet. Like he's the kid in class that'd be like, "Hey, Miss Johnson, did you forget you forgot to take the homework?" And now I want to punch you after school. SGA, I hate everything that dude says. I hate the whole scripted, oh, we're all teammates and we're all good friends, so we all stand together with the post game interview. And even if you notice that he had a big game like a week ago, and they throw water on you when you have a big game,
Yeah.
they threw it on his shoulders so they didn't want to get his hair wet or whatever. And it's like that's so inorganic. I mean, it's the outfits with the shitty Instagram quotes. I don't know. He just bothers the fuck out of me.
So you don't hate the foreigners, you just hate all the foreigners. Okay. Whatever you got to tell yourself, man. Sure.
It's just
Um,
those three guys, man.
um, just the most prominent and
Uh,
most visible ones. I don't mind the eighth guy on the bench for the Bulls. I don't even know his name, but sure.
Andrei Kirilenko, he was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Um, the
The bonus,
Sabonis was Domantas Sabonis.
Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, his dad was nice.
No, I don't like any. I'll say it with like the real reason. I don't like them because I don't like them. Like
I just
I
genuinely
am.
don't like some of
When
them
it comes to
either.
my pro sports, man, I'm closing the borders. I see you at the Olympics, and we're gonna stomp you.
Yeah. Although I did not like that shit Schroeder said in the Olympics over 2024.
Yeah,
Remember where he basically was like, "Oh, we focus on fundamentals and winning. They focus on entertainment." That's like he's black, but that's like anti-African American loaded language to me. It's like
it,
the whole college take. You know what I mean?
it is. It is loaded language, and we be whooping their ass. So what is like everyone talk about AAU and
Yeah.
culture and this, but we be winning. So you need to do what we
Yes.
do then. Shit, like I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
In the words of Kevin Durant, but who can guard Steph though?
Yeah, like it just I don't like AAU this and AAU that and this terrible. And I don't like
Hmm.
what AAU has become. Don't get me
They're
wrong.
not doing the fundamentals.
But at the end of the day, you're not going to argue with results. We took bronze one year,
Yeah.
2004.
And that was Larry Brown's fault.
Whoever's fault it was, the point was that there was a top-down league-wide mandate that this shit can't happen again.
Correct.
And if that were any other sport, it would be viewed for the patriotic cause that it was. And it
Thank
irks
you.
me
I
that
hate it. I
that
fucking hate it.
like if that were hockey, that would be they would have a fucking medal. They would get a
There'd
medal of
already be a
freedom for
movie
that.
about it.
Yeah,
We got the Miracle movie with what's the name? Kurt
yeah, I
Russell.
don't
Kurt Russell.
know.
Yeah, it bothers me because like I remember even somebody was like, "Oh yeah, just when the men's hockey won the gold,"
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh, this feels so much better than watching men's USA basketball win." It's like, yeah, because you're racist. That's the reason. You're racist.
I wouldn't say that, but what I would say is that we took bronze one year, which isn't even that bad.
Mhm.
But
Right.
well, and like literally the best Kobe, Bron, Melo,
Bron, D
Wade,
Wade, Chris Paul.
Dwight, Chris Paul. not even our second tier, like the best basketball players this country
Yeah.
has to offer was like, this cannot stand. I'm putting
Yes.
on the flag and I'm bringing back gold to my country. And I hate that that's not seen for the patriotic cause that it was.
Yeah.
Um, it just bothers me. I don't know
It does. It
what.
really pisses me off. I've always felt that way. It is actually really annoying. We know why they
Because they
don't
don't
view it
have
as
to do this. They
patriotism.
got hundreds of millions
They
of
don't.
dollars. This
They
is
don't.
literally, this is they don't gain anything from,
Correct.
like
You just
I
lose
mean
your summer,
you get the gold medal. Don't get me wrong, that's important. I mean,
and it's not even gold. It's just gold plated, by the way.
but these are people, they're doing it because they love their country. That's really the only
Correct.
reason they would be there. And that should be celebrated. It would be celebrated if it were the soccer team,
Co or if it was college athletes. Yeah,
So
exactly.
uh every 4 years we take the best every other country has to offer and we be
Yeah,
whooping ass. And
every time.
we're gonna
Like
be
niggas
there.
hate Braun so much they're rooting against Team USA. Like that's how bad it is over here.
I wouldn't say it wasn't nobody I know.
A lot of them, no, not the like, not the fans, but like the journalists. Like, remember what they were saying? Like, oh, they only beat South Sudan by 2 points. That's kind of a loss. Like,
Yeah.
actually, it's a win because it's sports.
Yeah, I was at the pool. I brought one of my old TVs to the pool. We put that bitch on Wi-Fi. It was a good time.
Yeah. No,
I
that
can't
game
tell if that
against
was silver or
Serbia.
gold. I think it was gold medal. It was not silver
Yeah.
because silver
So
I
the
watched
game
at the crib.
against, yeah, the game against Serbia. That was one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. And then the gold medal game was fucking top shelf, man. That was incredible. I still go back and watch those highlights like once a month.
I concur.